Show me something. Welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Will.
And this week I brought the boys Overlord. This is an anime from, I think 2014, now that I'm on the spot thinking about it. Not the movie about Nazi zombies. By the same name that makes Googling stuff for this somewhat difficult. And yeah. What did you guys think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was it's a pretty silly concept. It's kind of cool though. It's like, I don't know, it's basically about like this dude who gets trapped in an MMORPG. And you know, I thought it was fun. I thought like, I don't know, I just didn't take it very seriously the whole time, and I just kind of had like a good time with it. I don't have a ton to talk about before we jump into the spoilers, but it was cool. No, I mean, I dug it. I had a good enough time watching it. I'd probably give it like a maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't the worst one that you brought. It wasn't the best one that you brought out of the animes that you've showed us, but I thought it was decent.
That's fair enough. I'll take that. This is definitely a fun... I was not expecting anyone to take this super seriously.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't. I just had a good time with it. I watched...
This is not a serious show.
Yeah, I would watch a couple eps at a time in the morning on my off days before Abby got up, hours before she got up for work. Had a bagel and my coffee and some orange juice and just fucking chilled out watching anime.
What kind of bagel are we talking about?
It was an everything bagel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just from
nice.
Publix. It wasn't a fancy one. It was a Thomas, I think.
This man lives 10 minutes away from a St. Pete bagel company and refuses.
I don't. Not anymore, remember?
Refuses to patronize. What is it, 15 minutes?
Yeah, but I didn't really like that location that much. I tried it and I thought it was fine.
Just know that Kirk and I are very disappointed in you.
Is he like St. Pete Bagel a lot too?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you guys had that nice little connection.
We do. We're hitting the IG DMs.
I'm not
about bagels.
I'm not dissing. I think it was fine. It was good, but like I don't have the love and passion for it that you do, which I respect. You gotta love a good bagel.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Well, what did you think of the show?
Yeah, so it was fine. This is, not very much not my wheelhouse. I didn't have as strong a reaction to it as I did to Gurren Lagann. If anyone, for repeat listeners, it's not going to be as vitriolic a response from me in regards to that. I didn't really enjoy it too much, but I don't really know what it was that made me not respond so negatively to it. Maybe the fact that it was half as long as Gurren Lagann. But
it's pretty short.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. The concept was cool. I agree with Cobb on that point. There are a lot of nods to video game culture, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of inside baseball type of talk about RPGs in particular. But, it's got the usual just utter lack of character development that bothers me, even though it probably shouldn't at this point. But I'm not really invested in anyone. I don't really care about any of them. So, it was fine. I enjoyed the back half more than the front half, just like Gurren Lagann, oddly enough. Specifically, like the final few episodes, I think were the most enjoyable for me. But yeah, it's like a 6 out of 10. It's nothing like terrible, but just not my bread and butter.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really have anything else to say before we jump into spoilies.
Oh, I do want to say that this really made me want to play an RPG. Like, I was like, fuck, I should be playing Bannerlord right now, or like Skyrim, or finally playing The Witcher. I gotta play an RPG.
Cyberpunk, dude.
Yeah, or Cyberpunk whenever it finally comes out in 2027 or whenever it's gonna come out.
Stop that. December 10th, baby. We're so
it's
close.
Coming out in like
We're so
15
close.
days, 14 days.
Retail copies are out, homie. We're close.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
close.
gonna be great. I just like riffing on you guys because you guys are so hyped for it.
We're so hyped. But this series is one of my favorite isekai series, if not one of my favorite anime series.
What was that
we
first
only watched
word?
Season 1.
What was that first word?
Isekai. So isekai, I was going to get into this. Isekai is a genre of anime that started, a lot of people like this, like it's been around for a long time, but it started as a separate term for a genre around the time of Sword Art Online, which was years ago, which is basically the whole premise of the isekai genre is transported to another world kind of thing. 9 times out of 10, especially nowadays, it's a fantasy world. Some of the old school shows involved like mech shows and stuff like that were kind of isekais similarly. Those were all defined by the characters trying to figure out a way to get home. Modern isekais, a lot of the times, kind of like with this show, the characters go, why do I want to go home exactly? This is way cooler, and so they just kind of stay and just have their adventures and stuff, which I like that idea. That would be a fun thing to happen.
Yeah, like he really doesn't care at all. Like he's just
he
like
doesn't.
completely content
to be
being
fair,
an undead.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's part of like the thing of him turning into it is some of his human emotions do kind of get suppressed and go away. I don't know if you guys remember that being a plot point.
Yeah.
I finished watching. Well, because I've seen, this is probably my 4th or 5th time watching season 1, because there are 3 seasons currently out. 4th season's been announced. I finished season 1 of this rewatch, all but 2 episodes in one night.
That's crazy. That's a marathon.
The night after we decided we were doing this. And so with the rest of my time, I went back and reread the first 3 light novel books.
Wow.
That season 1 is based on.
God damn.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I have all the currently printed light novel books for this.
You're going to want to send a picture of yourself with those books to Abby for the Instagram post. For sure. Those things are tight.
Okay.
That exact pose. The pose with the fanned out.
Yeah.
Like, real quick, just for you guys, if you guys want to see this, like, who are listening, you'll have to like look this up online. But like, they have great pull-out artwork and stuff of like all the characters.
Very cool. Tight as
in
fuck.
These books. The illustrator Sobin does a great job. There's like little bits of artwork all throughout the books as well. Each chapter definitely has like a piece of artwork with it, which is nice. What was I going on about? Yeah, I love this series. I love this series a lot. There's 14 translated books, 12 in print. I've got all 12, and I've read all 14.
Damn.
It's
Where's
really
this
good.
rank on your all-time list?
On my all-time, this is way up at the top. This is like...
Nice.
Wow.
God, I couldn't even put a number with it, but it's like in my top 5, I think, all time.
So is it a 10-10 for you?
Subjectively, absolutely, it's a 10-10.
Yeah, give it a 10-10.
Objectively, I understand there's a lot of flaws with it, especially the show. The show adaptation itself has a lot of flaws. I give it probably like an 8. Objectively. Subjectively, I love this show. 10 out of 10. Easy.
So a 9.
Easy 10 out of 10. I guess so.
For
yeah,
the pod. I feel like none of us do objective ratings. We are always subjective.
I know.
I do pure feeling.
Yeah, same.
Fine. Pure feeling. It's 10 out of 10. Easy.
Thank you.
Easy.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I love this.
I wanted to hear the 10 out of 10, brother.
Ainz is probably one of my favorite protagonist characters. Just
Ainz
because of the position he's in, being a normal dude who gets pulled into his character from his MMO, and now has to live as this overlord, but inside he's just some guy, and he's like, how the hell do I actually do this? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to
video game knowledge?
Yeah, he uses his game knowledge, and he reads a lot of self-help books, actually.
Oh, did that come up in season 1?
No, but
I didn't think so. I don't remember that at all.
It's something that comes up later where he's like reading books about like management, like office management, on how to be a better boss.
Are those books
stuff like
in
that.
game?
So that's the thing. He comes from an Earth that's a good amount of time in the future, like 100 years maybe in the future, where actually this MMO is played by you. Computers are like Neurolinks now, so you like plug the computer into like the back of your spine,
Holy shit.
and you have like nanobots that you have to inject into your bloodstream periodically.
What?
This is all covered in a side story that's a prequel that's not officially published, that was translated and I read because I'm obsessed.
So like that.
I know. But that has nothing to do with the actual story, because the actual story of Overlord has to do with his adventures in this other world.
Yeah, that's fair.
And dealing with that. That's just a little bit of extra flavor for people who are insane like me.
Will's all about the flavor, though.
Will is all, yeah. I mean, if you go into it and read like some of the side stories and stuff like that, it's really great as well. But like, I love this stuff even before all that. That was just a little extra something or another.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think? Well, obviously it's kind of different because we're talking, manga versus anime. But have you seen season 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I've seen all the seasons.
Do you think 1 is the best season?
Oh wow, that's a hard question. I like the second season, I think, the most.
Okay.
Out of the 3.
And then
but that's because
that's the one that's
season
not
1
available.
It's not available on Hulu. It is available through Funimation, as well as less than legal streaming sites, which I don't recommend ever using.
Damn.
nice.
Of course not.
Shout out to BitTorrent.
Shout out to the police knocking on both of your doors right now.
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't name any websites.
I just said shout out. I would never use a torrent in my life.
Maestro's been handcuffed.
The subtitle. We did watch the dub, by the way, for anyone who's interested. We did watch the dub because that's how I first watched this. This was
the dub was
in
good.
My anime career. There is a little bit of a thing that I like with this dub, where if it's not always true, but it's somewhat true, where if a character has a bad voice actor, they're either not going to be on screen very long or are going to die soon.
Damn.
That's just a little like, it's not always true, but it's something I've personally thought whenever I've watched this show. But I do like the dub. I've heard the subtitled voices because Ainz, as well as Albedo, Mare, Aura, Kokaitis, and Demiurge are all in another show called Isekai Quartet, which is 4 isekai shows that the main cast of those 4 shows have been transported to yet again to another world where they're in a high school together.
What the fuck?
It's super dumb. It's all in like a chibi cutesy art style.
Of course.
But it's only subbed, not dubbed.
Damn.
And I like it. It's dumb and funny.
Okay, I have
and it's more Overlord, as well as some other characters. So, like, because I've seen all the isekais that are in it, because I'm isekai trash, as the anime community likes to put it.
All right, I have some follow-up questions real quick.
Yeah.
You caveated the reason that we used or we watched the dub. Are dubs frowned upon in the anime community?
Not as much nowadays, but they definitely used to be.
Interesting.
Back in the early days of it, all like getting over here and stuff, no professional, like especially early professional companies weren't dubbing it. There was fan dubs, which was a thing, and those were not good. And then when professional companies like 4Kids and stuff like that were like dubbing like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that,
yeah,
they would sometimes do other stuff, and those were generally pretty bad, with exceptions. There's always exceptions. And there was one case of the infamous dub of Ghost Stories, where the company that made the original show in Japan didn't give a shit about what happened. So the voice actors basically just turned that show from a somewhat serious kids in like middle and high school hunting ghosts show into a comedy where
Nice.
like they're just riffing and going off on random crap and like cursing, and it's the official dub for this show for the United States. Like all these actors were paid for it, and so it used to be kind of that way. Nowadays people kind of don't care as much, but there's still some animosity to where it's like, you should watch the original, it's way better.
Right.
And there are exceptions, like Cowboy Bebop is notorious, obviously, for being one of the best.
Phenomenal dub.
Exactly. So yeah, there is definitely a prejudice
Okay.
towards dubs.
And
But
then
I started watching dubs, like most fans
Yeah.
my age, and then have switched to subs or dubs depending on the quality and how quickly I want to watch.
Okay.
Like if I don't want to wait.
Right.
But also nowadays, we're getting a bunch of stuff getting dubbed. Like any of the really popular stuff is getting dubbed the same time, if not a week later.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like-
solid.
That's really quick.
Yeah, like with Overlord, I think I had, Overlord, I think I had to wait on season 3 like half a year before I could watch it.
Damn.
And I had some issues also with like Boku no Hero Academia and a couple other shows where it was like, I really want to watch it, but I started it dubbed. I'm not going to switch over. I have a hard time switching.
Yeah.
Okay. One more follow-up question. Is the isekai genre generally frowned upon? Because you said isekai trash. I'm just curious if that's like a joke or if that's
No,
like...
isekai. How do I put isekai? Like any genre in anime has their good ones and their bad ones.
Mhm.
I am isekai trash in the sense that I will watch almost any and all of it, no matter how good or bad it is.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense.
One of my favorites that I know is bad is a show called In Another World with My Smartphone.
Are you gonna show us that one?
No, well maybe.
It's your favorite. One of them.
It's one of my favorites in the sense that I like watching it because I know how bad it is.
You
and I
basically
enjoy
just
watching
don't
it.
want us to like harass you for an hour.
I'm fine with you guys harassing me for an hour. I thought I was going to get harassed more with this one, if
Really?
I'm honest. Yeah,
Well,
I didn't think you guys were going to like it.
We
that
haven't
much.
gotten to the spoiler zone yet, so...
That's
don't-
true. Will's
don't
gonna
get
fucking
too-
berate you.
Don't get too-
Before
And
we
I'm
get
gonna
into
be
spoilers,
like,
I guess
it's all right, okay.
we'll do our quick list, which Jacob didn't really prepare. But
No, I'm good. I wrote it down. Listen, we've
This
been
is- yeah, so, like-
waiting here for like a fucking hour and a half to start recording.
Yeah,
I've
so
already drank 2 beers. I'm
we
on my
didn't
third.
we didn't do any housekeeping, but it is currently, as of the time of record, around 6:15 p.m. We jumped on the call around 4:45 p.m. Normally we
And
do,
I go to bed at 5 p.m.
Normally we do have a session of a warm up, whether it's gaming a bit or chatting a bit for like 30-45 minutes. I went to restart my computer because I'm rocking an old MacBook before the record
still,
to try to up my fidelity. And it turned out I had a software update to do, and that added an extra about 30 to 40 minutes onto our record time. So we're a bit later and therefore more intoxicated than we would probably normally be at this point in the record.
Yeah.
I think that's
if I'm a little chattier than usual, that's
I feel
probably why.
fucked right now.
that's true for all of us. I think. Yeah, Jacob's been up since 3 a.m. I've been up since 5 a.m.
I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Nor have I.
I've only been up since like 11
Yeah. So
4 a.m.
Waking up
we're
at 3
we're
a.m.
chilling.
is brutal.
We're chilling.
But I also have to go to work after this.
You
Right.
do,
So-
which is crazy.
I'm gonna play Siege
but
all
yeah,
night.
we want to riddle off the list, right? So we're doing the only list we're doing this episode is favorite characters.
Yes.
Um,
For season 1.
and
I have to put that out because some of my favorite characters are not in this season.
yeah,
So-
and we had no stipulations, right? We weren't excluding
No,
anyone.
no stipulations. If you want Ainz to be your favorite, that's fine.
Yeah, I put Ainz as number 1. I like Ainz.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Ainz is great.
He's pretty
Momon.
cool. I think he's smart in certain situations. He's an interesting main character. I like that he's just like playing it as an RPG because I'm like it just the whole time it was just making me want to play RPGs. So like I liked all the lingo and everything. And then the number 2 is Sebas, the butler guy.
Yeah.
He's classic. We didn't get a ton of him, which is really a shame. I assume he comes up a lot more, maybe in the couple of next seasons or whatever. But he's a super cool character.
Yeah, I think it's season 2. He gets his big arc in season 2.
I mean, it makes sense because like at the end of this season, well, we can't jump into spoilers, but at the end of the season, he has like, he's like separated from Ainz, right? Okay, so and then number 3 is I think this is the right person because I was just looking it up on Google beforehand. Narborough Gama, the battle maid that he does like his quests with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marvel.
she's great.
Her adventurer named Nabe.
Yeah, Nabe. She's great. I liked because my favorite arc wasn't not the same as Will's, where he liked the ending the most. I liked like the middle portion the most when they were doing like their quests and stuff and like trying to figure stuff out and like they fight those the bald guy that I didn't care about. But like I liked the I just liked the middle portion of the show, and I thought she was really cool. So that's my 3.
Very nice.
Yeah. I don't. I don't really have a favorite character.
There he is. Never prepares, guys.
No,
listen, we
it's
need
really
to start berating Will because
No.
he literally is the list god, but never prepares a fucking list.
Listen, it's not a matter of not being prepared. I just didn't give a fuck about any of these people.
It doesn't.
What do you want me to say?
Who's your favorite? It doesn't matter if you care about them.
I am not done talking, right? I don't have a technical favorite, but if I had to choose, as I did for this list, I liked the 2 siblings, Mare and
Mare and Aura.
Or
Mare and Aura.
They were cool as fuck.
How you want to say
it. I want more of that. I thought that they had a very interesting dynamic. I was intrigued whenever they were on screen, or in the scene. Number 2, I really liked Shaltir.
Yeah.
Shaltir
Bloodfallen.
She was goofy, but
Is that the vampire?
Yeah, the vampire of the final arc.
Okay, yeah.
She's in the whole thing, but she's
in the whole thing.
She's a primary part of the final arc. I enjoyed her, and then I'm torn between who Cobb just had as number 3, Nav, the adventuring partner, Nabe, and the
Nabro,
and the girl who's like in love with Einzelgone,
Albedo.
Albedo's classic.
She like partly grinds my gears because it's such an absurd character for her to just be like coming everywhere whenever he talks to her or like touches her, and that bothers me.
The vampire girl literally talked about how she came when he talked. She said she was wet.
They're both terrible, and that's part of the stuff that I can't get past. But Shaltir had a good final arc, and I thought Albedo was consistent and also wasn't interesting in the final arc. I liked how she bet her. Well, I guess that's a spoiler, so I won't talk about that. But yeah, I would say the twins or the siblings number 1, Shaltir number 2 because there's a twist, and then Albedo because she was consistent throughout. I thought Einzelgone was boring as fuck. I mean,
I feel like the twins is a very interesting pick as the first.
It is a very interesting pick.
I like them.
I feel like they just didn't get a whole lot of screen time, and like they didn't do that much.
I just feel like they were just intriguing to me. Like I would, if of all the characters I'd like to see more of, it would be those 2.
Right on.
Yeah, and I would give honorable mention to the dude in the red jacket with the tiny glasses. He's like
he's classic. Yeah. I wanted to put him on my list.
Demiurge.
I was close.
Demiurge.
I was very close to putting him on my list.
Demiurge, honorable mention. I feel like he'll probably have much more to do in season 2 and or 3. Trevor made a face. So I feel like he has more involvement. Yes. He has more involvement later on, but I think they did a good job of setting him up
Knowing what I know,
as a
I love
particular.
hearing these. Like,
I feel like he's probably an antagonist moving forward, but he had good energy, I think. But he didn't do quite enough to interest me until like the very last episode, where they're like watching a final battle, and he's like talking about it and analyzing it.
That stuff was cool.
Yeah, that was dope. So he'd be my honorable mention. But yeah, the twins, like, why does the male dress like a female and vice versa? They have cool magic. They're dark elves.
Didn't they say that the creator just did it that way?
yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Like, they're trying to find.
They said
they're
it
trying
in
to find
the first couple
yeah.
episodes.
They're trying to find a deeper meaning as the Guardians because they don't realize that their creators are all a bunch of weeb nerds.
Yeah, they just did it because they're weebs.
Okay, so cool. So that's just
Knock
some
them
meta
down.
shit.
Knock them down.
That's just some meta shit. I'm fine with that. I still thought they were dope.
No, it's very interesting.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
What
my
about you,
three.
Trev?
I like that was your number one.
I want to know
my
what's your
three
faves.
major.
And your faves just for season 1, right, Trev?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Sebas. It's hard not to have Sebas as like a number one.
He's classic.
He's great. And also, like, rewatching season 1, it's like, yeah, Sebas is still great, but like still thinking forward. I can't not think a little bit forward,
Trevor.
even though he would be number 1 anyways. His next arc's really good. Ainz I love as number 2. He's like, main character. Putting him in the top is always kind of
pretty
lame,
similar.
but you have to because
Trev.
he's great, and he's just trying to figure out this stuff and constantly worried a little bit
I'm
about
surprised
like
you thought he
maintaining.
was boring, Will.
He was
Yeah,
so
I know.
fucking boring.
Really?
I kind of want you to watch the next season now, just because I want you to see more of him because he just gets better and better.
Like, I feel like this show wasn't boring.
Yeah,
It may not have been the best, but I don't think it was boring, in my opinion, at least.
that's fair enough. Like, I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't like, he's a dude who's trapped in a video game and he goes about that by playing the video game. Like it just
To
like
be fair, he's not.
We're gamers.
To be fair, he's not actually trapped in a video game.
What?
He is in another world. They say that explicitly. It's like,
that is true. That is true. Yeah, it's not the
okay.
right one.
So then my
Not-
verbiage
Sword Art
is
Online
bad. He's trapped in another world,
It's
but he
okay.
goes about being trapped in another world by playing the video game within the rules that he knows. I just like he didn't change at all. Like he played the game throughout.
I mean, he's following the stuff that he knows because it is similar to the game, and also he is still trying to figure out what's the difference.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
trying to
like-
figure out what's the difference. But he's not trying to leave. There's no stakes. Like he's just like, oh, this is cool. Like
His stakes is not dying.
I don't know. It just wasn't.
Because he doesn't
didn't
know
really do
about
anything for me.
respawns. He's
Yeah.
like, because I mean, he didn't even know. I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers. I was about to say a spoiler. So
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah,
more.
we'll
I'll have
leave
more to
that.
say when we jump into spoilers.
But yeah, like, and then three for season 1. Like, I've been contemplating this for a bit, so I'm still thinking about it.
yeah,
3 for season 1. Gazif is still pretty cool. He doesn't do a ton, but he's like a that's the warrior guy, if you don't remember. He's the guy that fought early in season 1.
yeah, he is an interesting character.
He's a cool character.
Very minor.
Yeah, I guess for season 1 I can't.
I just remembered an honorable mention, by the way, that I'll circle back to.
I would say that guy is more of an honorable mention than anything else.
Yeah, Gazif and Kokaitis are both honorable mentions. I really like Kokaitis.
That's the big praying mantis looking motherfucker.
The big blue frozen bug man.
That guy's classic. He's always exhaling.
He's pissed.
Steve.
Albedo's number 3. I love Albedo.
Oh, I do want to
she's
say that before we get into spoiler zone, that this show actually has a main theme that I actually liked.
Oh, same.
Yeah, it's such a good one.
I thought this main theme slapped. The
Yeah,
ending
banger.
theme I didn't like. I didn't like the ending theme. But the main theme fucking slapped. And I actually I listened to it most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I actually, like, let it play. I was like, this shit's tight.
Yeah.
I have this main theme and the season 2 main theme on my Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh, they're different songs?
Yeah, season 2's got a different song,
Oh,
and
shit.
I really like the season 2 one.
I
Okay.
agree. Banger. Just don't read the lyrics and the subtitles. Just let it vibe.
I did sometimes for fun.
Because whenever you read it, it's like, okay, I don't understand what's happening. But if you just let it wash over you, that's a slapper for sure.
It does, yeah. The ending I didn't like, though. It hits you so
okay.
hard with, like, the weird screamo-y, like, Technica stuff. It's like, just straight off the bat with "Won't you give me your love and passion?" And I'm just like, I just can't do it. I'm out.
No, I get that. I totally get that. The opening for this one, the whole, like, I love a good opening for an anime.
Yeah, it's very solid.
This is one of my favorites, but that's probably also because I think I liked season 2 one more. But this opening is just primo. I'm glad that you liked it. I was actually gonna ask you guys about that and totally forgot to ask.
But
so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into the spoiler zone without talking about that. But I didn't think the art for the beginning was the best because it's basically just like stills and stuff. But it's not super creative ones. Like, just because my mind goes to One Punch Man, where like the intro art is like fucking beautiful. It is. They're like pieces you could hang up on your wall. And in this one, it's just like, it's like, reminds me of like when you're character selecting in a video game is what it looks like, right? It's like,
and that's fair.
Like Super Smash Brothers style, like it'll be like a still of a character and that's it.
This show is not as like high budget, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that, as like One Punch Man. One Punch Man had a lot of hype behind it. This show had a good amount of hype. It was enough to get the web novel to light novel into a manga into the anime.
Yeah.
So there's 3 different versions. Well, technically 4 if you want to count the web novel, but the web novel is basically the light novel with minor alterations. There's 3 different versions of this story you can like consume.
Damn.
But this didn't have the greatest production. So like the opening is not going to be the best, but it's still a really good opening.
Yeah.
And the ending is just it's just that still shot of Albedo, basically, right?
I always fast forwarded through it. The only times I didn't was when we were watching like the ending roll.
Yeah, there was a couple of there's stingers on 2 episodes, and then the second to final episode has story during the credits.
Yeah, because
so it's not
other
really
than that,
like
I fast forwarded through the ending or like skipped to the next episode because I just didn't want to listen to the song in the end.
Yeah, I usually skip the ending as well.
Same.
Like I think I skip the ending every time, except like even with there was the stinger, I would just click ahead.
Yeah,
because I'm watching on a computer.
I probably
usually.
did that too, honestly.
I was just
because I don't
trying to get
remember
through.
what the rest is other than Albedo in the beginning, her face, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so spoiler zone.
Yeah, let's jump right into the spoilerino zone, dude.
Spoiler zone. All right. What do you guys got to talk about? What do you got for me?
I guess I can go. The final fight between Ainz and Shaltir had, for me, good aspects. But I also thought it was incredibly goofy that the majority of it is just them talking about the reasons that they're making these choices. You know, it's like a lot of internal dialogue between Ainz and Shaltir. Like, Ainz is talking about, oh, my MP and my HP, and then Shaltir goes and talks for 30 seconds to 2 minutes about the same thing, and she's checking his MP and yada yada. And like, on one hand, I appreciate the like metagaming aspect of that, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think it was very engaging.
And that's fair. Yeah.
But it also kind of was. It's weird. I don't really know. I kind of am on the fence about how I feel about the ending, because it was the time that I was most engaged, but I was also kind of like, this is fucking ridiculous. They're just talking about the reasons that they're casting these spells or like the reasons that they're doing this thing. And like a lot of it felt very expository, where especially at the last episode, Ainz is just like, haha, you played into my trap and I did all these things. And then he like lists all the things he did that she played right into.
Yeah.
So like part of it was like, oh, that's like very dope planning and like you did a good job. But also it's like not a final boss fight because they're just like talking to each other about why they made the decisions they made, which I guess is very, it plays into the video game aspect of it very much. So it was engaging to me, and probably the time at which I was most like invested throughout the season, but it was at the same time kind of like, this is very strange, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't super into the last fight. I didn't it was kind of drawn out. I didn't like that much that she was the person that he fought because of the mind control stuff. I was just like, I wish he would have fought like a new character that we hadn't gotten to see or something like that.
Yeah.
Like because I liked the fight, at least the fight aspect of in like in the middle of the season when they fight like that weird dark cult people. I didn't actually care about those enemies, but I liked the Battle Maids fight with the bald guy and the dragons. I was like, that's kind of tight. Yeah, I just wasn't really into the last fight. I didn't dig it that much. It was not my thing.
Even to me, as someone who does love this, the fight with Shoutier is not my favorite either.
It's weird.
I don't like. I get where Will's coming from, that it is interesting that they're like them talking about all this stuff, and that does kind of come up again. But for the most part, the fights are more like the fight with the cultists, as well as the cult of Keg, whatever the hell they're called, I forget.
Yeah.
The death cult, and the fight that he has with the slain theocracy right at the beginning. Most of the time, the fights are on the more one-sided aspect, but they do also retain some of the fight aspects of his fight with Shoutier. And I'm just to show you guys roughly, like, this season 1 covered 3 of the light novel books. This section, the back section that I'm showing the guys, it's about half of the book is the fight with Shoutier.
Wow.
What?
That's crazy.
Like,
so is it similar?
That much.
How much is changed from that portion? Like, is it
honestly not much?
It's still very expository and like, here's why I did this, and then here's why I did this, and here's what I expected you to do.
Oh yeah, kind of. There's a little bit, maybe that might have been a little bit extra because there's like an extra character that comes in before the fight that has like a dialogue about the fight and stuff. But other than that, yeah, it's more or less just like, I cast this spell, but you use this thing and all that kind of stuff. And it's more or less the second half of the book, maybe the second, like a whole quarter of that book is the fight with Shoutier.
Wow.
Which turns into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but
big Dragon Ball Z.
Like, I get
energy.
it. It's for sure. There's a lot that fight feels like the most drawn out portion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
But there's cool spells and stuff that happen during it.
There are.
And it's like, this isn't. It definitely shows Ainz is capable in a fight where he is not overwhelmingly gonna win.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 fights in the show that he's involved in are, he couldn't have lost, I don't think, if he tried.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like even then, though, I still knew the whole time he was gonna be fine. Like, he still didn't really show that much that he was gonna lose. You know, like, there was a couple of times which he explains in the second part of the fight of where he showed being hurt more and not and at a certain point didn't show that he was being hurt because of the type of damage that she was doing, whether it be fire or holy damage.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
I don't know. Still,
That was cool.
I just didn't believe
like
it.
that.
I was like, he's fine.
I do like that he was able to take that gaming thing, but turn it a bit, where like
Yeah.
in like as a game you would have to try and like compensate for some type of damage, but since it's real life now, he was able to fake taking damage
Yeah.
due to just his expression changing, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like his expression. His face doesn't ever change. Like the
He's
most
a
we get
skull.
is his mouth opens.
Yeah.
Well, he makes noise.
His mouth opens. Yeah. The only thing that did change off the top of my head between the book fight and the not book fight is Ainz has a ring in the book that if he dies, insta revives him once. Like it breaks and it does a quick insta revive. And for the fight in the book, he takes it off because he wants to, like, this is all about his pride as like
That seems
the
irresponsible.
leader of the guild. Yeah, it's irresponsible, but it's like this is proving to himself that this is all or nothing. If he can't at least handle this, he doesn't deserve to be the head of the
leader,
guild.
yeah.
And leader of the tomb and stuff. So that's the only thing that I thought would have been kind of a nice detail to keep. Like, he's dead serious about this. Like, this isn't him just... Like, to him, these are his friends' kids, which is kind of a weird thing that he keeps saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of weird because he has semi-sexual relationships with at the very least one of them, and possibly two.
But he doesn't want to.
Well,
by the way.
Okay, let's jump right into the beginning of the series. Episode 1, I think. We have some titty grab action, which I was like,
Yes.
all right, what the fuck show is Trevor showing us right now?
Yeah, I mean,
I-
I can't get past that shit. It's just like that. I honestly, that whole, and it's not just the one episode 1 because it happens throughout, but like,
I know, but
It's like minus the whole
one time
point.
when he actually grabs a titty and like
Yeah.
jiggles it around is
yeah,
episode 1.
he's like, is this real life? Like, let me just squeeze.
Is
some
this
tits
a real
quick."
titty?
It's like the definition.
He does
of
have a
anime
reason
titties.
for it.
That fuck off.
He, and he also is like...
I respect
like,
it.
He also is like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like...
Yeah.
He felt bad about doing
Yeah,
it.
but his
He has,
internal
like,
monologue
that-
is like, I'm fucking horny as shit. I'm squeezing
Yeah.
tit. Like, it's not.
No, his internal monologue is that he doesn't care. And it's weird.
Yeah, he
Bullshit.
has that green aura thing happen to him, which it could either mean there's two things. It could either mean he came or he
He
has,
nutted.
his basically undead side came over him and it was like, you don't care about this.
He fucking nutted.
I'll tell you exactly, that aura...
He
that
nutted
green
for
aura
sure.
is whenever he
Nuts.
gets too emotional
Oh.
in either direction, either happy or sad,
Or horny.
like anger. It's a positive or a negative emotion. If he gets too far to either direction, it autocorrects him back to the center.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it was pretty
like
funny.
anytime
though,
you
gotta
yeah,
admit.
it was funny. And it's him chesting, because if it was a game still, they wouldn't allow it because that's not allowed in a PG-13 or whatever Idrisil was rated game.
But then also in the second episode, I think, when we start meeting all the Guardians, is when we get the vampire girl saying how wet
Shout
she
here.
was.
Yeah.
So that was
But she
really where
doesn't
it was
say that
starting to
to him.
solidify. I'm like, man,
That's
this show is a very horny show that Trevor's showing
It's
us.
so horny, dude. It's so fucking.
But it did
A
slow
little
down.
bit.
It did slow down after that. There wasn't as much. There was still like Albedo wanting to
Albedo
bone,
is horny the entire show.
but it wasn't.
She is.
It wasn't as explicit.
she makes a body pillow of Ainz.
Yeah, the bottle. Fuck, I forgot about the body pill. The body
She's
pill
literally
sucks.
humping a body pillow in a scene. Like,
Yeah, she's talking. She talks about how she wants to get her scent on it.
yeah, it's
on
just
the bed.
it's
for,
nuts. It's
really
nuts.
funny.
I was
It's
like,
very
what?
funny.
It
the
does,
fuck
though.
is happening?
Like, spoilers.
We're in the
it
spoilers
totally
zone.
does get her sent into the bed because at some point, I don't think it's even in the first
Oh,
season.
he's saying
or in the
season
first
2
week.
spoilers.
Hold up.
But he
Hold
does
up.
come back. Ainz, no, this doesn't matter. Ainz does come back and lay down in his bed because he's exhausted mentally.
It
And
starts
goes,
beating off.
he smells the bed. He's like, what are they putting on my bed that smells good? Like,
Does he pull his
Oh,
fucking
shit.
metal
What is
dick out?
no, he doesn't.
He must
His
not have
bone-
a dick.
his
he's
bone
he's
dick?
a skeleton.
It is never stated that he does,
It's a
by the
bone.
way.
It's
It's just
And
a
he vaguely
tibia.
mentions in the even in the show, I think this is a line. If it's not, it's a line from the book. He's like looks down at his crotch. He's like, I lost it before I got to use it.
damn.
I'm so
Fucking
happy
big
that's not in
sad.
the show.
I wish that was in the
because it
show,
would have
'cause that's
made me
big
even
sad.
more upset. Yeah, this shit is so horny, dude. This is way hornier than Gurren Lagann, and Gurren Lagann was horny
Dude.
as fuck.
Gurren Lagann was not that horny. Okay,
Comparatively,
What
but
was horny about Gurren Lagann other than her outfit?
that
That was barely.
Anything else?
That's barely.
yeah, barely
That's
compared
weak
to them
sauce.
saying
Yeah, dude,
For
Will,
anime,
wait.
that's weak sauce.
Listen, Trevor, hit him with the
Listen,
horny animes.
listen,
You know what?
if you
after
compare-
this, start showing us only hornies.
if you compare
Should I bring something super
compare
horny?
Gurren
Yes.
Lagann to any Western show, live action or animated, OD horny. It's OD horny.
no, because I can do it. I can do it right now, dude.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. Okay. You ever watch the show House MD
No.
with Hugh Laurie? Okay. Well, is
Is there a girl that
lesbian
walks
sex
around with
scene
her
in one of the
bikini
shows.
out the entire time? I doubt it.
No, there's not a bikini chick at all times. All right, you got me there.
She's not all times. During the whenever she was a school teacher, she doesn't have the bikini on.
That's
true.
literally
Her tits were
one
long.
episode,
They were
Trevor.
bouncy, but they
That's-
weren't
The outfit
in bikini.
does-
1 out of 27
outfit-
episodes that she's not in a bikini.
And that was your favorite episode. That was
And
was.
her outfit gets worse after that. To be fair,
It did
whenever
get
she's
worse.
in
Bingo.
space,
I
get
win.
worse.
it does get
I
worse.
chalk this up as a win.
You know what?
Regardless.
I'll give it to Will as a dub. But I will say that Trevor has showed me much hornier animes before.
Monster Musume.
Yeah, let's bring that one on the show. That'll be a fucking mess.
That we should not bring on the show. That would have to be like a one-off, funny, goofy thing.
For the Patreon.
All of these episodes
For the Patreon.
are one-off, goofy, funny things.
True. I don't know. That would have to be something like
Yeah, that's behind the paywall.
if
Yeah.
if enough people request it, I'll bring it. But otherwise, no. For now.
Yeah. Fair.
But like, yeah, I love this show.
I don't think I made my one honorable mention for characters. The dude Brain. That Shaltier,
Brain
Shaltier tries to fight and he like runs away because he's like, "Oh, I'll get her," and then he just like gets slapped around and then realizes that he's about to die, so he just like runs away down a tunnel. Does he come back?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you see him at the end of the show.
No, I
remember?
know, but I'm saying, does he come back in season 2 or 3?
Yes, he's in both.
Okay, cool.
I will go ahead and say, and he is in both.
Yeah.
He is a great character. He has the nickname Nail Clipper because of the first episode.
Huh.
Remember where she's just like parrying all of his shots
Yeah.
with her fingernail? Yeah, his people like on the subreddit and stuff call him Nail Clipper.
That's hilarious. I dig that. That's cool that he's in it still.
I really like Brain. Brain's a great character. Who continues to get better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the characters. I think like that's one of the reasons I kind of want you, Will, especially like based on what you've said. Want you to continue watching the show, is because I think you'll just like it more and more.
Yeah. I feel like the more
Like I could be wrong. You could come to hate it more and more.
I mean, yeah, it's who's to say, but I think that the more diverse the character base gets, the more I would probably be inclined to enjoy it, because a lot of the super ancillary characters are like my favorite. You know, obviously I feel like the siblings are probably more involved in season 2 and 3. Brain obviously is, like you
siblings-
just mentioned.
The siblings are weird, I will say, in that they show up. Like, they have about the same amount of prominence in every season so far
Really?
that they had in the first season, which is they're there a decent amount doing stuff, and they get little tidbits. Like, every time you see them, there's, like, a little bit more about them that you're learning and stuff. But they haven't had their focus yet.
That feels
in the
like
show.
underutilization, honestly.
I mean, they get, like... But it's weird because they're, I feel like, almost kind of like Albedo in that they're not tertiary. They're definitely secondary characters.
Yeah.
Like, Brain's 100% a tertiary character, especially in season 1. But the twins are more secondary characters in that they're pretty prominent throughout the whole show, just not super focused on at any given point so far. Is that bad to say? That might have been a bad thing to say, but whatever. Too late.
No. I mean, I didn't expect them to ever be a major player in any storyline, but it is curious that they're not, because I feel like they have a lot of potential narratively.
Yeah.
More so than the majority of the main cast, in my opinion. But obviously, my opinion is skewed. So,
what did you guys think about the Karn Village stuff?
I liked the Karn Village stuff. I like that it seems like that's going to become Ains's, like, city. That's going to be, like, his, like, ruling area. Because every time we saw it, it got more and more built up, you know, throughout the season.
Yeah.
Like, he saved it from destruction, and then he started bringing more people there. And then every time they showed up, there was, like, first time there was the goblins because he gave her the horn. And then the second time, there's, like, these big-ass walls surrounding the city. It's like, holy shit. Or it's still a town, but it's like, man, this place is being built
village.
up.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely
he sends the
place.
potion person there and his grandma.
Yeah, he sends Inferia and his grandma, which, oh my god, there's a great... I love Inferia, personally. That's definitely an honorable mention character. Yeah. He's funny.
I thought he was fine.
He is like, he's trying his best to be like...
He wanted to hook up with that girl.
Yeah, with... Oh my god, why am I...
Don't remember her name.
Forgetting her name? Why am I forgetting her name? She's somewhat important. I can't remember her name off the top of my head for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, like, I don't know. I was trying to find it in one of these books. There's a great bit of art of him trying to hit on,
really
trying his best to hit on her and just sweating profusely. But it's so good. Like, I love that village, and I think you guys saw her very briefly, but we get another character who's great, Lupus Regina. Yeah, there's Inferia and Henry.
Nice.
He's just trying. He's like, please, I can get it out. I can talk about it, and he can't. It's great. Okay, cool. Anything else you guys wanted to?
Will, what did you think about it? Did you have any thoughts?
Not really.
Okay.
Right on. Did you guys care about the like cultist people?
No.
Which, not the slain theocracy. This is the other.
the bald guy, like the old bald guy, and then the like, I guess like thief rogue
Kanji?
type character. I don't know what she is.
Clementine.
Yeah.
She is.
Is she a warrior or a rogue? I couldn't tell. She used blades, so it made me think rogue, but
She's technically, I think
she technically a warrior? Because he called her a warrior, right?
I think she might technically be in the warrior class. Let me see.
It doesn't make any sense to me. She seems like a rogue.
Back to this book.
But
so the book, by the way, has like character breakdowns.
That's sick. That's awesome.
The last couple of pages, it has like people's classes.
I'd be curious,
like that,
Trev, the next time we hang out, for you to show me some of the books.
I'll bring you. Yeah, if you want to try reading them. I think the books are better than the show, which is kind of standard, I feel like, for almost anything you want to.
For sure.
Yeah, everything.
Anything you
pretty much.
watch, but
all media.
I'd be into
for most,
to checking them out just to see how it compares.
Yeah. The covers are great. Like there's book 2 cover where he's like fighting the zombies and stuff in the graveyard.
They look beautiful.
The Soben does. He's I think the guy that basically designed like the show characters too, because I think the books came out first, and then they based some of the stuff off of his design. Like because there's the descriptions obviously, but then he makes the art.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's great. Let me see, Clementine.
But just to finish that thought, yeah, I didn't really care that much about the characters. I didn't really like the old guy or Clementine that much. I did like the fights, and I thought that some of the stuff that they did was interesting, but I didn't care about their plot line specifically. Yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about them.
I like it. Sorry, Will. Actually, you should go first. I should.
No, go ahead, please.
I like these characters and this story more for the fact that it is a good showing, I guess, of the power balance for this world in comparison to Ainz.
Yeah.
Like, Clementine she states in the book, I mean in the show even, that there's only a couple of people in the country of the Riestes Kingdom that can beat her, which includes Gazif, maybe Brain, and one of the girls from Blue Rose. And those are like the most powerful people in, like, humans anyways, in the country. And so it shows that Ainz is way above them. Like, way, way above it, which is kind of like a nice power scaling for us to see that the people that, at least the publicly known people in the show, are like not even a threat to Ainz at the moment. So that's why I like them. I think it's just a nice power fantasy moment more than anything. But overall, who really cares? Like, Clementine's only kind of interesting because we learn a little bit more about the Slain Theocracy through her. Mm-hmm. But Kanji, or whatever the hell his name is, I think I'm saying it right, Kaji. I don't care about his cult.
Yeah, I didn't care about it.
Like, I don't care about them. Well, what did you think?
I echo your sentiment. I don't have a whole lot to say, honestly. The middle of the show was just kind of whatever to me.
You didn't like the quests? I feel like the quest it feels so warm to me because of just like playing RPGs. It's just like, they're going questing.
It feels so, I mean, ancillary isn't the right word. Arbitrary, I think, is what I want. It just, none of the action in the middle of the show felt like it had any literal meaning to me. Like, it was just like, this is a thing that's happening, and there's no real outcome, regardless of whether...
Well, the outcome is that, like, he ranks up as an adventurer, right? So that people know his name, so that he can make his stake in the world.
But, like, we already know that he's OD powerful, so who gives a shit about his fucking rank? You know? Like, it was hard for me to separate the fact that I know that he is a supreme being, right? And the fact that he's trying to be, like, an upstart adventurer. Like, that's one of those, like, fourth wall moments that I know he's all powerful, so why would I get invested that he's trying to finish these quests? And it was shown time and time again, right? But before Shoutier, like, every fight that he had, it was similar to what Trevor said in One Punch Man, that Trevor is a sucker for all-powerful and, like, protagonists, right?
I am a sucker for OPMCs, man.
Ainz just fucks everybody up until he gets to Shoutier. And even then, it's like an episode of him not quite fucking her up, and then the finale happens, and it's like, haha, just kidding. I've been playing you this whole time. You're fucked. So it's just, there weren't a lot of stakes for me, and it was difficult for me to get invested because I kind of knew what was going to happen the entire time based on how powerful he was.
And that's fair.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
But yeah, that's fair. Like, he knows he's all, but there are, like, because of Shoutier, we know there are threats to him at this point. It's just a matter of, is this person he is fighting actually a threat or not? Yeah. But also at the time, you don't really know that with Clementine, because you don't, like, how do I put this? The first time you watch it, you don't know that he's that overpowered, I guess. I mean, it's kind of implied, but it's not shown, and then it's just a good moment of like, nah, he's ridiculous. He wasn't even trying. He was using this fight with one of the best fighters in the world to learn how to fight a bit better.
To learn how to fight as a different class.
Yeah, pretty much. Not even with Perfect Warrior enabled. This was just him with an interesting set of armor on.
Yeah.
Still as a mage.
Right.
So it's...
Well, is he a mage or a necromancer?
He's a mage.
Oh.
He is an arcane type spellcaster. Would be in the sorcerer underlying for this world.
Gotcha.
Because he casts based on feeling more than like magical equation and stuff like that. Yeah, and so he's an arcane because there's faith type, which is like the paladins and stuff like that. And that's what like the Slain Theocracy, they're faith-based casters.
Also, I
that.
forgot to mention, as an honorable mention of favorite characters, the Wise King of the Forest.
Hamsky!
Fucking great, dude.
Yo.
That shit was ridiculous. Just a big-ass hamster boy.
It just made me think of Overwatch.
just
Hammond and Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's so great, though. He's always scared. He's always just saying, Master, please be nice to me and stuff. It's just like, you're making me scared.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's so funny, though, to watch him ride
beats
around
up on him all the time.
top of him. He just rides around on a hamster. That's funny.
He's like,
It's
I'm
just
so
good stuff.
embarrassed. I'm riding around on a hamster. Yeah.
But,
And everyone else is just like, oh my god, this amazing mystical creature.
Yeah, I like that part.
And he's just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Where they're like, wow, he's so intimidating
What the
and
fuck?
powerful. And I'm just like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
Even Nave is just like, he like kind of turns to her and she's like, I do sense some wisdom behind the eyes. And he's just like, what the fuck? This is a giant hamster. How does no one see that?
Like, all he did was cast, like, a low-level, like, fear spell on him. And
Yeah.
he just, like...
He has a fear aura.
Yeah.
That, just to explain that a little more, he has a fear aura, and he casts the first level of it on him. Level 5 would have killed him instantly.
His little hamster heart just stops.
Yeah, it kills most low level stuff, which is funny because like he's like high level for the world, but it makes most low level stuff die instantaneously.
Fuck.
Yeah. But I feel
love
like
it.
that's pretty much all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Do you have any final things, Trev, or anything?
Not particular. Like, let me think. Is there anything off the top of my head? No. I love it. There's definitely more details about the world and the fights in the books.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about the books too much because I already did a lot.
You're good.
Overall, I do love the show. I had to struggle really hard to not immediately watch season 2 and 3.
After watching it
I
for
really
us.
wanted to rewatch them. Yeah, after watching season 1, I was like, I can't.
That's
And I was
relevant,
like, I'll
though.
read the
Now
books.
you
And
can.
I was like,
That's relevant to me and season 2 of Fargo. So I get that feeling. Absolutely.
exactly. I probably, unless I run out of stuff, will not bring season 2 and 3. If I did, it would have to be like probably both at the same time.
Are you
Just
still
to-
going to show us season 2 of Black Lagoon?
Nah.
Oh, shit. An early promise burns.
I don't-
in episode 20, whatever this is.
I might,
Damn, we're in
but
the
for
fucking
now,
20s
I've got
already?
like
Yeah.
I've got enough other stuff to bring. And I would like if you guys want to watch, you probably won't watch the other seasons on your own, but if you do, I recommend it because they're great. The animation quality for these shows is definitely something you got to look past. They do use not great CG for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you noticed the Death Knight
Yeah.
and stuff.
Not great.
It does not get better in later seasons. I have to say that it does not get better. In some cases, it gets worse.
Fuck.
But overall, it's great. I love this show. Please go watch it. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for showing it to us, Trev.
Thanks, Trev.
I'm glad you guys didn't hate it. I will say that. I am glad you didn't hate
Didn't
it.
hate
I was
it.
No, I didn't hate
expecting.
it. I thought it was fine. I thought
My
it was good.
overall expectation for this was Jacob to go, it was okay, and then for Will to go, I fucking hated this.
You were close. I thought it was pretty decent. I had fun with it, and Will thought it wasn't great.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's no Gurren Lagann. The visceral reaction.
Gurren Lagann's
of
I mean,
Gurren
no, of
Lagann
course it's not
is
Gurren
not
Lagann.
there.
Like,
fuck.
And by it's
fuck
not
Gurren
Gurren
Lagann.
Lagann, you mean it's not amazing.
I mean, it's not absolute dumpster fire garbage bullshit.
Well, we'll never agree.
Okay.
So what can you do?
no, we will never agree on Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann is great. And
Fuck that shit.
I honestly, part of my thing was I was like, Will's going to appreciate Gurren Lagann more after watching this show. And I guess he didn't.
One of these days he will. One of these days he will, Trevor. He'll be on
I guess
our
I got to
side.
bring a trash show. I guess I got to
You
bring a
do.
really bad show. Maybe I will.
Yeah, maybe you will next time. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you for the next episode for my pick.
I'm very excited. I don't know what it is.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know post-record.
I do.
We both know what
do
it
know?
is.
Oh, I do actually.
We've
know?
known since the episode
whoops.
before this one.
I totally forgot. So I'm excited to hear again.
Fuck yeah, Trevor.
Yeah. We'll catch you guys for the next episode. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.